Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining me for my Barbie series. I am taking this calendar, which was from 2021, and I'm turning it into a journal. I purchased this calendar on clearance, so it was never used. It's basically brand new. It's just outdated. I got it because the images captured my attention. They're just beautiful. So you can see that Barbie is sketched out here, wearing very fashionable clothing, and that is really what caught my eye. And when I bought it, I knew that I would have fun turning it into a journal, but now since Barbie is like the hot thing going on right now, the timing is perfect. As you know, calendars are typically 12 by 12, and you can see here that the sketches of Barbie, they're very tall. So I've decided to go ahead and make a slimline journal. So it will be probably 11 inches tall. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is remove the staples from the journal. That will make it much easier and much cleaner to separate the pages from one another. Next, decide what size you want your journal to be and trim your scrapbook papers to that size if you're going to use them. This is my design team project for A Trace of Sparkle. I wanted to let you know that I've had to print out the digital kits differently from how they actually come. And the reason for that is because the shape and size of the journal that I'm creating is different than what I usually make. So because I'm making a Barbie journal, I am going to make the pages tall. This has actually already been cut down. This was like 12 by 12, and I've cut it down to 10 by 10, and so I'm having to just create everything a little bit different than I normally do. So I want to tell you that I needed the length of the page, but I didn't need the width. So this was actually originally on the original digital kit. This is all one image. This is one page on the digital kit, but I needed it in 2 pages because of how I'm making this journal. So I wanted to make sure as I showed them to you, you would understand that they don't exactly look like they will if you purchase this digital kit, which is gorgeous. I want to tell you that on this one, this here is actually, because it's supposed to be landscape, and I'm not doing it like that. I printed out half of it that I could get long ways, and then on the original, this is like the other part of the page, so it would be like this. But I went ahead and put 2 of these on one so that I can use them. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, what you need to know is it's a gorgeous digital kit. I'm printing it out different than how you would most likely print it out. This one is the same as what you would print out. These are not. This was expanded, and so it is different. It's actually such a beautiful image. The name of this kit is Baroque Impressions. It is created by A Trace of Sparkle. It will be listed in my description box. This one was the same. I had to expand it. My fault was that it didn't print out on my 10 by 10 the way I wanted it to, but that was my fault. That was operator error, not digital kit error, just so you guys know. Again, I'm going from a landscape more to a tall one, so it creates a different situation. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that. So that's the digital kit that I'm going to be working with. And then I think I already showed you, I showed you already the pages of the scrapbook kit that I'm going to be working with, and I showed you the pages of the Barbie images that I'm going to be working with. So let's get started. This is going to be a tall, skinny journal, and there is a name for that, but I can't think of it right now. But I'll find out, and I'll probably put it in the title of my process video. But I just want to let you know, in order for me to kind of get started and get my brain wrapped around how each page is going to look, I'm just folding these in half real quick. And that way I'll know the size that I'm actually dealing with. Kind of like a traveler's notebook. You know how they're kind of tall and skinny? It would be similar to that. And before we get too far into it, I want to let you know I'm trying to keep this as a one signature journal. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages folded in half should equal 20 pages total, right? Because this one is 4. Yes, 4 times 5 is 20. Yay, woohoo. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so we've got our size that we know we have to deal with. We're just gonna pick an image from our digital kit. Ooh, this is so pretty. Let's start with this one. And what we're gonna do is, you know what I think I might do is I'm gonna cut all of the edges off. Now, it's funny because I was able to get some of them to print with no borders, and then some of them printed with borders. Again, it might have been me sort of not paying attention to the settings that I was choosing and all that kind of stuff. So probably I didn't choose borderless because you can do that, and I probably forgot to do that. So that would be my fault for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of the pages to size, and then once I'm done with that, I'll get back to you guys with the next step. I got the digital kit cut to size. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut my calendar pages to size, and the first thing I'm gonna focus on is getting the height of each page cut to size. And then I'm gonna deal with the width. It's gonna be a little awkward, I feel like, because she's centered, but I can't, I mean, if she wasn't in the center, I could just use the calendar as some pages, but if I fold, then she's half and half, and I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to have her off-centered a little bit. But we'll deal with that in a little while. Let's get the height correct, and then I can figure out the rest. When I'm doing something like this, and it's like one step at a time, like I have to figure out the dynamics of the situation, then I like to just kind of go one little step at a time. You guys know I don't like plainness in my journals. Yeah, we're going to be adding these images, but what if there's a little space here? And there's always a space in the crease, because I don't like to get my paper up in the crease, because then when you go to flip the pages, it gets weird and crunchy. But napkin is so thin, it's fine if that goes in the crease. So I think I'm going to go ahead, before I add our beautiful Barbie, I'm going to go ahead and cover each blank, the back of the scrapbook paper, with napkin, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this glue and put it on, because that works really good. This is just glue stick. It works great with napkin, and we're going to start with that. Don't forget that you can use a piece of tape on each finger to very easily separate your layers of napkin. And if you're new to using napkin, always remember that there might be 3 layers of napkin. So definitely double check that. If you don't remove the other 2 layers from the image, then when you glue it down, your top piece of napkin might not stay in place. When I'm adhering napkin, or really anything else, and I'm using glue stick or Mod Podge, I always go about 1 inch by 1 inch. That way I can put the glue on, and section by section, and the glue will not dry too quickly. As you can see now, I am inking the edges of the image. This isn't the napkin side, this is the image side. Now, remember when I printed this image out and there was a little bit of plainness on each side? Well, I went ahead and added a strip of napkin, you can see it here, to each side. And now I'm just inking the border that was left on the top and the bottom. All the backs of the scrapbook paper have now been prepped with napkin, and here they are. I think they turned out just beautiful. Most of this is going to be covered with the Barbie images, but that's okay. At least I don't have plain paper underneath them. Because the Barbie images were literally in the center of every single calendar page, I've decided to go ahead and use them for pockets and tags. So the ones I'm going to use for pockets, I am cutting out in a wavy pattern, simply for interest. And then the ones that I'll use for tags will be a little bit straighter, obviously. Once I cut them to size, many of them I'm inking, not all of them, but I would say most of them. So hang tight and let me show you the pages that I got the pockets attached to. Okay, my friends, this is going to get it for this video. I'll share with you some of what we got accomplished today. We got some napkin on the edges and also did the inking so that that page looks ready to go for whatever we plan to do next. This one we cut out some of the calendar and made a nice pocket here. So perhaps in the next video we'll make a tag for it. That one is ready for the next step. So did the same thing here. This was the scrapbook paper side and we put her, I thought she just looked great. My battery ran out on my camera, so I didn't do that on camera, but I think this looks great with this. So that's a lot of fun. Then we got, obviously you can see the napkin and then two pockets, a pocket on each side. So we can either make tags or slide paper goods in there or whatever it is that we decide to do for that. So that's what we got done in this video, plus all of the napkins. And you know, a lot of these might end up getting covered. We'll just have to see. But that's what we got done today. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.